to doing the thing. Mm. Let's see how long it takes to catch up. Oh, it says I'm excellent. Am I on the correct Wi-Fi? Yes, that's lovely. I want you to be on live chat. Hey, there we go. I forgot that I have a delay on this. Ha 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 ha. Wonder what I sound like. The world may never know. Alright, let's see. Do 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 do. Na 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 na, will you open? There we go. Na 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 na. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing at the moment, just so we're all clear. I didn't really have a plan so much as I just figured I'd come piss around for a bit. So, here we are, doing that. Here, we'll just go, I don't know, see if we can find something interesting. Apparently there's been a shooting in New York, so that's interesting, but not a fun time at all. Let's see. Hassan addresses the little overruled allegations. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Quite frankly, I'm not even sure who that is. It's Alex. Is that the lawyer dude? I'm genuinely not sure. Mm, 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 We could watch some true crime together. Ooh, hey, here we go. Let's watch some bad empanada. Let's see if we can learn something. We'll pop this into theater mode.
Hi. This video will show that Israel's
That's the
2023 attack on Gaza meets the legal definition of genocide under international law far beyond any reasonable doubt. In part 1, we will look at the definition of the crime of genocide and analyze some of the precedents set in actual genocide cases that are relevant to this one. Then in part 2, we will analyze the facts on the ground, referring back to what we went over in part 1 to show that Israel has committed genocide. Finally, in part 3, we will consider which individuals or entities could be found liable for the crime if they were to face trial. Let's begin. The legal definition of genocide is entirely derived from the UN Genocide Convention. This definition is somewhat contentious as it is very, very narrow. To give a prominent example of just how narrow it is, the Cambodian genocide, which involved the killings of something like 2 million people, is practically universally considered to have been a genocide outside of the legal sphere. Yet in practice, it was actually mostly prosecuted as a crime against humanity rather than genocide, because the prosecutors didn't think that they would be able to meet the lofty requirements to land convictions for the latter. So other broader definitions are often used outside of the legal context. But we're not going to be getting into those debates here, because this video is solely about whether Israel's actions in Gaza in 2023 constitute genocide according to this narrow standard set by international law. So here's how the
Oh, I didn't even realize that's what this was. Oh, this is fun. See, okay. The fun part about this for me is one of my most recent live streams was me complaining about a dude who has been harassing me in my comments, who is just, you know, straight up been in a Hasbara publication, so that's fun. Um, and he can't like make a point at all about anything, and so you know this would be a really fun thing to actually like debate someone on, to actually discuss. none of those people will show up and actually have a discussion about that, though. They'll show up and talk about how I'm not pretty enough for them, I guess. But no one will actually engage with the content. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to, I guess. But I'm gonna. So
Genocide Convention defines the crime of genocide. Genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group as such. A. Killing members of the group. B. Causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. C. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction, in whole or in part. D. Imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. E. Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. A very important part of this definition, which is often not very well understood, is that genocide is a crime that is defined by certain actions being taken with a special type of intent. This is different to other crimes like murder, which are not only defined by actions and intent, but also by result. A murder is not a murder without a dead person, but genocide is different. It's a common misconception that genocide requires killing on a massive scale, in the hundreds of thousands at least. This is simply not the case. In fact, genocide can still be genocide if no one dies, because out of the 5 listed genocidal acts, only one of them actually requires killing to have occurred, and any single one of those acts being carried out is already enough to meet the definition of genocide. Said acts are very likely to result in death, but it's not necessary for them to. As legal scholar Jeanine Clark summarized, what is crucial is that the perpetrator intended to destroy a group in whole or in part, not that he succeeded in doing so. This is important to establish early, because a common argument that I've seen is that not enough people have been killed.
and let's be super clear. Israel has, on every level, from random Joe Schmoes interviewed on the street to the absolute highest levels of government, made absolutely clear that their intention is to rid Gaza of the Palestinians and make all of Gaza Jewish. So, um, yeah. Again, I am not here to conflate Judaism and Israel because, again, no one in my real life who is Jewish has these beliefs. I don't know any Zionists IRL. I don't. Like, I mean, I'm sure I probably know some Christian Zionists, that just aren't, like, super loud about it, but, like, I for real do not know one Jewish person, like, at any rate.
In Gaza for it to constitute genocide. Sometimes, for example, people post graphs of population growth, which they seem to believe make it impossible for a genocide to have occurred. But this is totally irrelevant because the crime of genocide is defined by actions and not outcomes. So this argument would already be invalid, even in spite of the completely obvious fact that the specific events under examination here only began on October 7th, 2023. And thus obviously are not encompassed in these graphs. There are also no provisions in the definition of genocide for any mitigating circumstances. This was made clear by the Tribunal for the Rwanda Genocide. The 1994 genocide, where around 800,000 members of the Tutsi ethnic group were murdered by members of the Hutu ethnic group in Rwanda. The judges found that mitigating circumstances could only be taken into account when passing down sentences after guilt had already been established, and that they did not alter the degree of the crime itself. This is relevant because some have argued that what Israel has done in Gaza cannot be genocide because it is a reaction to the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th, and also because many have argued that Israel cannot be committing genocide because the Palestinian militant group Hamas allegedly has genocidal intent itself. This has included the highest government officials of Israel's staunchest ally, the USA. Here is what US President Joe Biden's spokesperson had to say on the matter.
But this word genocide is getting thrown around in a pretty inappropriate way by lots of different folks. What Hamas wants, make no mistake about it, is genocide. They want to wipe Israel off the map. They've said so publicly, more than one occasion. In fact, just recently.
Even if we were to take the statements that he's making there to back that argument at face value, none of it matters at all, because there is nothing in the definition of genocide, nor in precedents set in previous genocide trials, that would render you no longer guilty of genocide if you argue that you were provoked, or that the other guys also want to genocide you. Nor does it matter if there is a war, real or imagined, nor does resistance from the victim population change anything, nor does anything. Genocide is quite simply any or multiple of the 5 specified genocidal acts taken against a group with the outlined special intent to destroy them in whole or in part. And there are no extenuating circumstances that make genocidal actions with genocidal
all very
intent.
true, but I cannot sit here for an hour and a half and nope. Alright, let's see. What else? Ooh, we can go look at my subscriptions, and we can call me out on my, yeah, Penguin Zero, Majority Report, Cave Town, that guy who does those weird shorts. There's some Zachary Michael. I already watched that Film Cooper video. We're not watching red flag videos. I got nothing to watch. Alright, screw it. So, no one has asked, but I was gone for a while. Months, in fact. And, it was intended to be like a short little break, but then it ended up being a very substantial break. Mostly because I Marie Kondoed this YouTube shit the fuck out of my life. It just wasn't doing it for me. When I started doing this shit in earnest was when I was not working. And I was trying to make a go of doing YouTube as a job. And there's no way. There's absolutely no way. In part because I absolutely refuse to be algorithmically friendly. Because I can't be that person. I don't know. And also, it is what it is, man. It's not like I'm making the most captivating of content. I'm just talking about shit that I want to talk about because I want to talk about it. And so it's I was making things based on what other people wanted and trying to provide a service and trying to make myself useful in in the space or whatever. And it's had some shit go down in the personal life. One of the exes acting up again. Surprise, fucking surprise. This is why these people are exes. And it, I had a little bit of a nervous breakdown about it, man. It was, whoo doggy. And, I just, kind of reprioritized at that point, because at that point I had been working again for the better part of a year. I really, I love my job. At this point, can't imagine doing something different. And, I don't know, man. I never thought that I would have a job that I actually liked, let alone, whatever. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to actually work again. So, when it became obvious that I wasn't willing to, because for a while I tried to sacrifice my sleep and try to juggle maintaining some kind of let's try to build a channel and working and having a family life. And it was just no, dude, I am not willing to put in any effort into this, really. This is really just an outlet for one of the many forms of creativity that I like to partake in. And also a place for me to ramble and bitch about shit that the people in my real life don't have to fucking hear about it. Um, and so, I took a long time off, and quite frankly, was not sure whether or not I was gonna come back. Um, I abandoned the Discord, both of them, because that if you missed out on the weird side project, you missed it. So, train go sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Um, but it, yeah. So when I realized that I was not willing to put in actual effort, and that the amount of people that I was potentially helping with some sort of life advice, after the political climate shifted as it did, was just like, bro, like, I don't know. I definitely still have some things that I want to say along those lines. Um, I've had some thoughts, but man, it just, I refuse to put effort into things that aren't positive for me or for someone. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to. I don't know. Do anything in particular in online at this point. I can't remember the last time I was on Blue Sky. The Patreon I think might still be up, but in the process of deleting. I think it's unpublished. I don't fucking know. So the Patreon app is incredibly stupid. And I never went on Patreon on a computer, because I, until very recently, didn't fucking touch my computer. I did everything in the world on my phone. And so my Patreon app showed that I had one paid subscriber, and the after their fee, $4 and change. But that was showing me my monthly, and I thought that it was showing that was the total income, because I thought that my homie Gnome Pickles, who signed up a long ass time ago, had signed up for a month and then was that was cute, and then which is fine. I didn't expect anyone to sign up, and the fact that someone in my real life did in fact sign up, that's amusing. Um, and so when I was in the process of like dismantling the thing, I clicking around, got to a point that it showed the balance, and it was 60 something dollars or somewhere, and I'm like, this motherfucker has been paying me for 2 years. My only paid fucking membership. And for the record, and I asked him, I'm like, how do you want me to spin this? There's a joke in here somewhere. He said that I should say that my channel is solely funded by a Jewish-owned media company, with a focus on supporting the arts, because he streams as well. So, you know, that's a media company, right? Yeah. So, the only money I have ever, and quite frankly, I haven't even gotten it into my account yet. It's still just sitting in the fucking Patreon account. But, the only funds I have ever received for making content have been from an anti-Zionist Jew. So, take that for what you will. It was very amusing to me to discover that. Um, just knowing, and fucking Elliot Jokelson, again, just a couple days ago in my comments, a couple days before that, that fucking asshole from Utah, I don't fucking remember, I think Evan something, I don't know. Um, Corey, maybe? I don't know. Um, yeah, basically what these assholes are doing is they are coming into my comments and trying to be insulting, and then when I have like a comeback that they don't like or can't really say anything to, they jump to a different thread and then like try to tag each other in and it's, it's very childish, but it does amuse me because I don't think about these people in my off time. Uh, and clearly, when I'm kicked back, haven't made content, and I don't even remember. It's been at least a week, right? When the fuck did I do that Danky Jabot shit? Was that this week or was that 2 weeks? I don't fucking remember. Um, yeah, they're thinking about the channel more than I am. I don't know. I wish that Elliot Jokelson would actually engage with the content because he's a man who went out of his way to be quoted in a Hasbara article as saying that an artist was promoting anti-Semitic violence, and he was the only source on that, and yeah, not a single, like, backings, nothing. Just, that's it. I don't know, man. So I had the, essentially mental breakdown in March, and I kind of, like, shuffled my shit around. I don't know, man, like, I was definitely going manic, and I had to crash out at some point. And the crash out um, was like, I don't know, it was unbelievably easy, if that makes sense. The like bounce back was like I was, you know, a psycho for like a day, and then everything was fine. And it was like, what the fuck happened? I don't know, man. It was very weird. Um, yeah. What else was I going to talk about? I feel like there was something else. Oh, yeah. So then I just deleted the whole last Discord in a panic. Both of them. And, like, deleted the Discord app from my phone and just, like, I'm, the only community that there will be, if ever there is one, at this point, is going to be right here on the old YouTubies. I'm, it is what it is, man. I'm a throw my shit out there into the world, and if it sticks, it sticks, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah, you know. I've been sort of kind of harassing Jesse, aka Danky Jabot, um, uh, about watching the clip of the live stream that I did reacting to his video because I want to hear his take on my Kurt Cobain trans take, as it were. Uh, if you don't know, some lady online named Lily Tino years ago made a TikTok about thinking that Kurt Cobain was a trans lady, which, she's not the first and will not be the last person to have made that suggestion, and people flip their fucking wig about it, and this dude in particular was like, I can't quite put my finger on why it's distasteful, but it is. And I challenged him to be like, well, but why though? Because, like, if you can't put your finger on it, then what are you left with other than the yuckiness of being trans that you're feeling? And, I, quite frankly, like, if it is a nebulous sort of, I feel weird and uncomfortable about a thing that I'm not familiar with, I don't blame people for that shit, right? Like, explore those feelings, seek it out. It's especially if it's a topic that you're not terribly familiar with. I mean, yeah, it might be fucking weird to think of, your favorite ever musician might not have actually been a dude. Might have been a lady, and that might be, I don't know, confusing, weird, whatever. But like, if ultimately that drastically alters your opinion, you know, it's like, imagine, I don't know, if you found out that, Kurt Cobain was actually like, it was one of those situations like back in the old times when women would pretend to be men because women weren't allowed to do whatever profession. And, you found out that Kurt Cobain was actually like female, not, and just masquerading as a man the whole time, not even like a trans man, just like pretending for the sake of professionalism or whatever. Like, would that alter the way that you saw the music? Would you know what I mean? Like, um, I don't know, man. It seems to me that, when you are raised in these Western culture with Western, I hate the term, but this misogynist, white supremacist, capitalist centered, like, it's, of course, there's all kinds of bigotry just baked into the shit, and if you don't challenge where you bump into things and ask yourself, why do I have a problem with this and is it legitimate? Because there are definitely things that, like, you will hear that make you feel uncomfortable, that when you challenge them, you're like, well, I should fucking feel uncomfortable about that. That doesn't sound chill at all. Um, but, like, whether or not Kurt Cobain was trans, I mean, like, I don't know. And then I went and found a picture of him in a dress to stick on the thumbnail of the part that I clipped out specifically about that. Because dude in his videos says, he's like, oh, this proves that I read my DMs. And so, like, I don't use Instagram for anything other than messaging famous people and or other YouTube content creators, which, depending on the size of the creator and your definition of famous, might be one and the same. But I've been like, hey man, you say you read your DMs, like, I'm dying to hear what you've got to say about this. Because I think that he's someone who is generally well meaning, and, takes feedback seriously. Hello, people who are here. You want to talk about anything in particular? I would love topics to chat about, other than just me rambling about, my harassing YouTube content creators to try to get them to watch the shit that I said about them. Uh, is there anyone here that I know? Or we just got random people coming to check it out? Live streaming when no one knows who you are is sometimes a boring prospect. What can I say? I don't know, man. I just wanted to hop. Ooh! I did a thing. So I've been working on these for like an insanely long amount of time. I'm currently dyeing the laces for them, so they're hopefully going to have purple laces. But check these out, yo! I got, and then this side. So I did them same color scheme but different patterns. I like this one better, I think. A little tongue here. My little paisley art. Isn't it lovely? It's giving 90s. It's giving sloppy Lisa Frank. I used Sharpie fabric markers, a lot of them. I did not realize it was going to take like 8 fucking packs of markers. I got the shoes for like $40 at I think TJ Maxx, Ross, Ross. Pretty sure it was Ross. And I ended up spending well more than that on fucking fabric markers. So, but that has been occupying my downtime at work. And yeah, I haven't had a lot of downtime at home, being summertime, because you can see my sun-kissed little face. We be out water parking and shit, yo. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. What time even is it? Well, if no one's got anything to no one's got anything to say, I think my random rambling for a half an hour will do. Uh, maybe someone will come see the life update. Unfortunate that no one wants to argue. I need to schedule one of these further in advance so that all the people that say that I should debate can come and put their little typies in the chat and put their fucking money where their mouth is. I doubt that they will, but it's just so fucking hard for me to schedule these things in advance because, like, you know, uh, I have a life and I have other shit to do, and it tends to just be a like, oh shit, I can scrape together some time in the middle of the night. It happens to be quiet. The dog is asleep. The kids are asleep. I don't know, man. It is what it is, yo. Well, I have been Draco Self-Important. If you have enjoyed listening to me ramble at all, please go check out my other content. I assure you it's more entertaining than this.